This channel supports Extra Life in its efforts to raise money for the Children's Miracle Network. For more information about how to donate and join in their efforts, go to the link displayed here. Extra Life. Play games, heal kids. What up, everybody? This is your boy Blak Magus, and this is Ghost Recon Wildlands, the open beta that occurred over this past weekend. Now, I actually got invited to the closed beta, but after watching some streams, I just didn't find myself interested in touching Ghost Recon. Not that I have, something against Ghost Recon as a series. I actually kind of enjoyed the last one that they did for the PS3. While the story wasn't all that great, and it had its issues, there were some things about it that I liked. So coming into this, it wasn't that I, didn't have any type of, I guess I could say I didn't have any type of love for the Ghost Recon series. It's just that over the last few years, let's all be honest, Ubisoft has done a lot of games that have been good. They've been okay, but nothing that was worth rushing out to get in hindsight. And this is coming from someone who is a huge fan of the Assassin's Creed franchise. Honestly, that along with other things like Watch Dogs. I haven't played Watch Dogs 2, but I played the first Watch Dogs. The Division, and so on. You start to see a pattern form with Ubisoft. Ubisoft has, over the last few years, used and combined assets and have pretty much patterned out their games. Even The Crew, which is a car racing game, shares elements with their open world third-person shooters. Splinter, you could go back even to Splinter Cell, the last one, which was a cool game, but you look at that, the last Ghost Recon, I think starting from that point on, Ubisoft, even before this new generation, has fell into a lull. Perhaps it's because every year they were doing Assassin's Creed games, and a lot of the things that they've done or improvised on in Assassin's Creed, they kind of pulled out and put in place. Like, you could see some of the Assassin's Creed influence and structure in this game. The stealth, in particular, is what stands out the most to me. I feel like a lot of the stealth elements to this are similar to what you got in Assassin's Creed. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. But the gunplay, it's pretty much The Division, which to me, The Division was pretty much a carryover of Splinter Cell and Ghost Recon, where Splinter Cell is probably the better of the two when it comes to gunplay, in my opinion. And I cannot understand why. Ghost Recon Future Soldier was the last one. I was blanking on the name of the last one, but anyway. But yeah, you can see how all of these studios that have worked on all these games, the way that Ubisoft does their productions, for those who don't know, a lot of times when they're doing these large-scale games, they pull together several studios, and these studios add their own assets and their own things to it. And then the main studio pulls it all together, and voila, here's a game. Well, I feel like you're seeing that way too much with Ubisoft. That doesn't make it a bad game? No. Because honestly, while I wasn't impressed while watching, I was more impressed playing than than watching, simply because what I saw just had no appeal. But playing, I could see where there's an appeal to this game. Mind you, that's not saying that I think this is going to be their next huge hit. Um, this is a very, very weird impressions video, people. I'm sorry in advance, but this is what Ubisoft games kind of do. They do some things that you're like, okay, that's cool. I can get with it. I could play this, but I don't know. Maybe it's just something in the back of my head just has me always thinking, how long am I going to be into this? When is it going to just annoy me and I'm going to be just going through the motions? So I played the impression for about 3 hours. I did all the main story missions in it, and I did a couple of side missions. And it was like I could just pick out the points where I could see, okay, this is where things are going to possibly get a little repetitive for people. Because again, it shows all the signs of their previous products. And again, as much as I love Assassin's Creed, I would be remiss to say that there weren't things that were just so repetitive about the gameplay that I could see why people would tap out. The mission structure, they all seem to have pretty much the same. You had the beginning, you gathered intel, then you go ahead and you execute another point, which may be gathering more intel. Like, you find out where do you get the main intel, and once you got the main intel, you went and completed the mission by picking up the target or getting the last bit of information so that you can move on to the next mission from a target, things like that. You pretty much approach the site. You decided how do you want to go about it. Most of the times I tried to go as stealthy as possible, but if you wanted to just run in guns blazing, you could. Again, something that Ubisoft has pretty much adapted. If you look at Watch Dogs, Assassin's Creed, Division, what have you, you could either take it slow and steady by the numbers, or you can just go in and just have a fucking brawl and take everything out. It's not going to penalize you either way for how you handle it. It's just that as long as you feel confident in taking on the numbers and surviving, you're fine. I didn't have any problem either way, doing it stealth-wise or doing it by brute force. So take that how you want it. Maybe if I raised it to a higher difficulty, because I just put it on normal, just because I wanted to play and get a feel for the game and not necessarily challenge myself. I mean, it's a beta. It wasn't that serious for me. So I just, maybe you need to make it more difficult to make it more exciting if you try to go the brute force route, or even if you tried the stealth route, because a lot of times I would just throw up the drone. I'd spot some people. If I could, I'd sink shot a couple once they got to a point where no one could see them. And even when I was spotted while doing the stealth, I didn't feel like I couldn't handle the firefights. So again, maybe that's maybe that's because of the difficulty, or who knows. But it was pretty much same thing, same repeating of steps. 1, 2, 3, repeat. 1, 2, 3, repeat. So, yeah, it is what it is. But there's things about the game that I previously thought that aren't as bad, such as visually is not as bad as I thought it looked when they first showed it. Not that it would have mattered to me, because if I would have really thought that the gameplay was something that appealed really strongly to me, that wouldn't matter. The concept always appealed to me, but just seeing how the game played out kind of is what dropped my interest. And having played it, it's like, okay, I could see myself playing this, but I don't feel like I necessarily need to play this anytime soon, if that makes sense. So yeah, there's still some appeal to the gameplay, but at the same time, it's like, okay, if I just want to play another Ubisoft open world game that fits in the same mold as their others, cool, Otherwise, there's nothing stand out really to me about this game. It's okay. It's okay. That's my impression from this. I will say better impression than I got from the Division, because I thought that the Division didn't show enough. But I think in this beta, you've pretty much seen what you're gonna get. And maybe in the Division, that's what they did. I've never played the final product, so if you guys played the beta and played the final product of the Division, let me know if it was the same result. But I feel like what you're gonna get is you're gonna get a standard open world experience. It's probably a little bit more fun if you play with other people, although I could see it wearing thin co-op wise as well, because again, it seemed like everything's pretty much structured the same. There wasn't anything I found too diverse to make me say, okay, just because I went after a convoy, that didn't make it feel that much different than me going after a target in a camp. You know, so I don't know. I mean, it's cool. That's the best thing that I could say. It's cool. Not a must buy for me, but for some, this may be something that is a serious. I must pick this up ASAP type of thing. And I wouldn't knock you for it. I definitely wouldn't knock you for it. I mean, again, it's okay mechanics, gameplay, repetitive, but, standard fare. So if you like that, it's not going to... I guess I shouldn't say that standard fare thing, because honestly, a lot of gameplay have standard set rules. I just feel like when I say standard play for this, I guess I should say standard Ubisoft gameplay, because it just feels like every other Ubisoft game. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's the thing that that kind of has me thinking it's just okay, because Ubisoft has not been differentiating on their properties. They've put stuff in different settings, gave you different scenarios, different characters that can be recognized. Some that are a little too close to home to each other, perhaps, but some of them are diverse. Like these characters, they're just your everyday standard military officer that you see in any military movie, like Delta Force or something like that. Yeah, I'm trying my best, people. I really am. Clearly, you can see I'm trying to not be too harsh on this game, because it's not bad. It's not bad. It's just, again, it just comes off as the same Ubisoft game, which, take it how you want it. If you really, really care for Ubisoft products, then you're going to be totally in love with this. If you don't care for their games and their structure, their mechanics, stay far away from this game. That's the best that I could put it to you. Yeah, I mean, I would love to know what you guys think, so please, as always, feel free to hit me up. Let me know what you think, and I will holler at you later. This your boy Blak Magus, and I'm out, y'all. Deuces.